Hello. What's up, guys?
Hey
It's me
everyone.
and Sam. You're watching the Pod-1218 or listening to it if you're on Spotify. My name is Matt, that's Sam, and
I was gonna say
Sam,
one thing.
what?
I don't know if you saw, we are on video on Spotify now as well.
Yes, I did. I did see that, and it's
So
pretty cool. But, Sam, you want to tell them what our podcast is, or
yeah,
if
Pod
they're just
12
tuning in?
Pod 1218 is essentially named after Earth 1218, which is the universe we live in that is devoid of all superhuman and supernatural folk. Theoretically, that is. Who knows what could pop up in the near future, but um,
I
we
mean,
like to
have you
talk
seen
about.
John Cena?
No,
Like,
I haven't.
he's a superhuman. He has superhuman strength. We got strong ass people all the time.
Yeah, anyways,
Continue, I'm sorry.
we like to talk about nerd stuff, just hobbies of ours, all kinds of stuff. So, those of you tuning in, welcome to the podcast. Those of you returning, thank you for checking out previous episodes. Got a lot of good stats on different platforms. We are on Spotify and on YouTube. So, thank you to those returning, and welcome to the newcomers.
For show, for show, for show. Now, from my understanding, a lot has happened in the pop culture world, Sam. And I told you previously before starting recording that I have been blind to it. When you said that there was quite a bit, I did not believe you. Because I have seen jack on anything. So I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, of course. Let me get into the news. First off, it is November. Just wanted to do a special shout out for No Shave November. No Shave November or Movember is typically when men grow either a beard or a mustache to support men's health. So that's big. I like to support both men's health and mental health as well. So big news there. Also, just because it's No Shave November doesn't mean you have to look like a hobo. I usually trim up the top of my cheeks and under my neck, so please do that if you can. No one wants to
Don't
look
be
at
a
you.
neck beard.
Yeah,
Don't be a neck beard, dude. Otherwise, you'll have to buy a fedora, and that's not a purchase you want to make. Yeah, look, see? See?
so yeah, in other news, it is November. By the time this episode comes out next week, it will be the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Shout out to Gordon Lightfoot for making a great tribute to the tragedy. Matt's cracking up over here, but it is a serious issue that the Midwest people like to honor the tragedy. If you don't know what the tragedy is, this shipping freighter set out across Lake Superior in November. Unfortunately, due to a lot of circumstances, the weather being bad, some design faults maybe, it ended up sinking. If it had just gone 15 more miles, it would have survived. The 29 men wouldn't have perished on the freighter. Shout out to those. Shout out again to Gordon Lightfoot for making a very, very touching tribute song.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. I didn't even know that happened. When people
Matt
say,
doesn't even know what time the main hatchway gave in.
At 7 p.m. a main hatchway gave in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know ya.
I don't know jack about that. I'm gonna be so real. When you said the Edmund Fitzgerald, I saw someone cosplay as the Edmund Fitzgerald for Halloween this year as well,
Yeah.
where he was just like in a pool with a giant like ship floaty that he had made. Like, I was like, this is cool. I don't know what this is relating to. I'm gonna be so real. The only shipwreck I know of is the Titanic. The only other shipwreck I know of is it was for finding the wreckage of the Titanic.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
the Titan submersible, and we all
Yeah.
know what happened there. But yeah, no, thank you for enlightening me on that. I didn't know that it was an actual. Well, I knew it was an actual thing. I just didn't know what it pertained to or like the story of it. Like I'm gonna be real. You say Midwest, they hold this tradition. I was in no way part of this tradition. My family was not. I didn't know what the you were talking about.
I take it very seriously. It's a very touching song as well that Gordon Lightfoot made. Sometimes listening to it, I shed a tear or two, to be honest. And this year is the 50th anniversary. I really urge all of our viewers and listeners to also listen to the Gordon Lightfoot song. It is a great song, very touching. Anyways, enough on the Edmund Fitzgerald. In other news, we do have a new HD look at the Daredevil Born Again black suit with the double D's on the chest. Yes.
If there were anywhere
that.
else, I would be a little bit questionable. It would be questionable. I only prefer my double D's on the chest. Ladies, get at me, dude.
Too. It's a great HD look at the suit. It's literally just all black, red eyes, red logo on the chest.
Oh yeah.
Charlie Cox, the actor who plays Daredevil, is very proud of his work as Daredevil. I like his work as Daredevil, so I'm excited to see.
I like his work when he's shirtless. So yeah, I have yet to watch Born Again. I've completed seasons 1 and 2 of Daredevil from the Netflix era of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you earlier, I'm in the middle of Iron Fist. Like Iron Fist, dude, it sucked. The first episode, like to first 2 or 3 episodes, I was so bored. I was so bored. And it just, why does it take 4 episodes to get like a good fight scene that's not like a cage fight? Why? Why does it take 4 episodes? When he was fighting the Hatchet Men, dude, I was like, this is so awesome. Where has this been?
I don't know what happened. A lot of the other Netflix shows are, like the Netflix Marvel shows, are really great in writing. Iron Fist really suffered for some reason. I'm not sure if it was the certain writer, maybe just a creative effort. They didn't look deep enough into Iron Fist, maybe?
It's possible.
I don't know.
I do kind of like the idea of the fact that he is, still learning to be the Iron Fist, because technically he had earned the ability to utilize the power of the Iron Fist in his time in Kunlun, and then he abandoned Kunlun to come back to, New York to sort of reprise his ability in, having his partnership or ownage of the Rand Company. And completely after episode 3, I'm hooked now. But like, if I hadn't, set out to do this like whole escapade of watching all of the live action stuff for Marvel, and I started Iron Fist on my own, I wouldn't watch past episode 2, probably.
No.
Because like it wasn't going anywhere. Most of episode 1 was him walking around and like rediscovering New York. That was it.
Yeah.
It just pissed me off. Like, Luke Cage was a fine show through the first season. I've yet to watch season 2, but like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't. It's a pilot episode. It's supposed to be like, it's showing you what you have to look forward to,
Yeah, and
it just shows
you're looking
me
forward to New York.
Yeah, I'll go to New York. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. No, thank you. Anyways, you may continue. Sorry, I had to go on that little tangent real quick because...
Yep, you're good. In other news, the new Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer did drop. We got looks at all the withered animatronics, all the new toy animatronics, some flashback scenes with Matthew Lillard coming back, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
Well, you know what they say, he always comes back.
Yep. Got some good actors and actresses in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Got Matt Pat. Shout out to Matthew Patrick. Megan Fox.
Full legal name is as. Shout out to Matthew Patrick from Game Theory.
Born on this date with this IP address
Here's
as
his
well.
social security number, his home address.
That's big news. I don't know if you are a Monster fan, but a sequel has been announced to Godzilla Minus One, titled Godzilla Minus Zero. When Godzilla Minus One first came out, it was amazing. I have yet to see the black and white version of it, but boy, Godzilla Minus One. Have you seen Minus One?
I haven't, but I've heard really good things and I really want to watch it, but I'm probably going to do like a Monsterverse watch through as well, because I really like the old Godzilla movies with like the practicality of them.
This throws a lot of homage to like the very original Godzilla, where it focuses on Godzilla's impact on the characters of the story, which is really great. And there are a lot of... It's one of those movies that makes me shed a tear, too. There were a lot of, like, moving scenes in that movie where you're like, wow, like, this just happened. Like, I can't believe this. This is... it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So highly recommend that movie.
I didn't know they made a black and white edit, though.
Yeah, they re-released it, I think, like a month or two later. It's like a black and white theatrical cut to put more emphasis as like an homage to the original. But I think both versions hold up very well. It's a great movie.
Yeah, hell yeah.
One more piece of news. Another movie sequel has been announced. The Mummy 4 with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, returning. So
Mr. Fraser's reprising?
Yep.
That's crazy.
I've seen the first and the third one. Third one was... But the first one is a classic. I have not seen the Tom Cruise one.
We'll leave that there.
Yeah.
I think I saw something that you didn't. So there is another monster sequel of a movie coming out. We have been confirmed that Gremlins 3 is in production. Well, I don't know if it's in production or casting right now, but they are making a third Gremlins movie.
Okay.
And apparently one of the like looking ones. I don't remember, are those the Gremlins, or the ones that aren't like cute and cuddly?
They're both Gremlins.
They're both?
Yeah, have you seen the first Gremlins?
I have, a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't recall.
So, the Gremlins, they start out, like, cute and fuzzy. I think there's 3 rules. If you feed them...
You feed them after midnight. If you get water on them?
Yep. And I don't remember what the third rule is off the top of my head. But after that, they turn into, like, the reptilian-like monster things.
I thought that they had a different name for those. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I know that there was one of the Gremlins with the lipstick and it had... Right? Is that a real thing? Or was that just like a doctored image?
That might be from the second one. I haven't seen the second one, so I can't confirm, but...
Forgive me, Lord, but I'm going to look up Gremlin with lipstick and...
We'll keep them out of bright light. That was the third rule.
I wasn't joking, dude. That's a real thing. Granted, it's on Reddit, so lipstick... No, I'm not reading that out. That's ridiculous. Greta the Gremlin. Is that a thing? Yes, it's a thing.
Okay. I'll
Greta
see about
Gremlin.
adding an image in, too.
Dude, she's literally... Why is this Gremlin hot, dude? Look it up yourself. It's from Gremlins 2. See? See? Yeah! You'll have to put a picture in of Greta Gremlin. Probably just one of the ones that are less Rule 34. Because this is... Jesus Christ. Get this off my screen. Anyways, so Greta Gremlin in Gremlins 3, hopefully. I will be sitting down. My butt will be in the seat. I do like the Gremlins. Another thing that I believe I heard, this could be old news, but apparently they're making a sequel to the Goonies. I'm unsure if that's a real thing, but I think
I did hear that. I don't know if it was officially confirmed, but I don't know. Do you know if it's a sequel or if it's a remake? I don't know off the top of my head.
Goonies sequel update. So apparently the script is and Steven Spielberg is actually working on it as well.
Classic.
It's a literal sequel to the 80s classic, and yeah, I wonder how they're gonna work that around, because Corey Feldman is a piece of shit. Let's see, they could get Josh Brolin back in there. I don't know the guy who plays Chunk. Ke Huy Quan could come back as Data, that's easy, and then obviously Sean Astin could come back. Sean Astin is just awesome. But as for Corey Feldman, I could do without. They could make it so that he or something.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it. Anyways, so yeah, Goonies sequel, I believe the script is in rewrite right now. So that's where we're at with that. Has there been any updates on like Doomsday or or...
Yes, I did just see something that confirmed, I believe Doomsday trailer is either supposedly or confirmed to release in December, so next month. I think it might be releasing with the new Avatar movie.
It's so good! Guys, we're eating. We're eating well these next couple years.
I know a lot of the actors in the movie have also been praising the movie pretty highly, saying it's going to be one of the best comic book movies ever, so we'll see about that.
To be fair, I appreciate that they say that, but didn't James Gunn say that Flashpoint or whatever was supposed to be like really good?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure that James Gunn gave like high props to Flashpoint. I'm gonna have to keep this window open. Holy sh! James Gunn.
You're right.
Ooh, yeah, I told you. He was like, "This is the best. This is the best
greatest
thing."
Superhero movies ever.
That's the only time the gun jammed. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Because no, sorry, James, that shit was not. But we've already talked about that. No need to bring that back up, unless we talk about it later on.
We will be talking about it later on. I will definitely be discussing that movie.
Yeah, I bet. Let's see. I do know that the Wolverine game has had an official gameplay trailer that released about a couple weeks ago, if not a month.
Yep.
I am so excited.
And
I cannot tell you how excited I am to play this game.
Marvel has confirmed that they are looking to continue working with Insomniac on future games as well.
There's supposed to be a Blade game, too.
We don't even have a Blade movie, or TV show, or anything.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Wesley Snipes. He's the one and only Blade. One and only Blade.
But also speaking of video games, GTA 6 has once again been delayed to December of 2026.
Weren't we supposed to get it, like, in the next couple months?
Yeah, it was supposed to be May 2026, and now it's almost a year away now.
How many years do you need, Rockstar?
When did GTA 5 release?
It's like 2011 or 2013.
Almost.
It's been over 10 years.
Yeah, we've had more Avengers movies than GTA games in the last 10 and in the past like 15, 20 years almost.
There's a problem. That's a problem. I need that game to come out so I can buy it and then never play it.
Yeah, it's gonna release. Everyone's gonna buy it, and everyone's gonna realize, man, we waited 20 years for this game, and it's not worth it anymore.
I mean, I can almost guarantee that GTA 6 is probably gonna get the Cyberpunk 2077 treatment, because Cyberpunk 2077 came out because everybody was like, where's the next Cyberpunk game? Where's the next Cyberpunk game? And then they released it early, CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Next time, just don't do that. But we all know what happened. CD Projekt Red, instead of like continuing to push it back because it was in the same production that, you know, GTA is in right now, where they were continuing to push it back and push it back and push it back until everybody was like, no, we want it now. Give us as it is, please. And so they release it reluctantly, and then shocker, everybody hates it because of how many bugs, how it's like unfinished in certain areas, only for it to become one of the best RPG like of this decade. You know, after its release. Like, it took months, and then it took a DLC for it to actually be good again. Like, it makes me upset. So I hope that if they need to push back, I understand. It's only fueling the memes, you know, so, like, it's just, how can we continue to do this? I know that, you know, the video game industry is not easy, and it's not the best, because, you know, you have to deal with constant, like, you know, awareness of, is my studio going to be let go from this project?
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. And you have to be constantly aware that your job is on the line 24/7 because they have to make money. They have to make cuts. They have to do all these sort of things. And, like, the only people who are really, like, cemented into this project are the writers, most of the time, the voice actors, and the heads of the studio, who are making the money off of this game. So if you're a game developer, my kudos go out to you, because I understand. I understand the hell that you're living in. I understand why things are the way they are.
also just the competition between, like, not only different studios, but, like, you know, with the rise of AAA games, it's like, if your game isn't, like, top-notch, then people hate on it so much. Even when you add, like...
Or they never hear about it.
Yeah, or they never hear about it. And it's like, this game flew under the radar, and nothing was done about it.
I mean, if we kind of do a callback to the last episode, Balatro. No one knew what the Balatro was until it showed up in the Game Awards.
Yeah.
The Game Awards, of which I'm super looking forward to this year, because I really want to know what their take on all the great games that we've gotten this year. Like, I want to know what is going to happen, who's going to be up for debate. I think it's going to be Ghost of Yotei and a couple others. I can't think of any other games right now.
Yeah. For some reason, my mind is going blank. Just off the top of my head...
Hollow Knight, right? Or, not Hollow Knight. What am I thinking of?
Silk
Song. Yeah.
Yeah. Silk Song released. Metal Gear 3 remake or remaster or whatever release.
Death Stranding 2, did that come out this year?
I think it did.
I really want South of Midnight to win a Game Award. I don't know if it came out this year or last year. South of Midnight did not do well, and it sucks because of what people say about, like, wokeness in games. Not to get, like, political or anything, but it's the same thing with Ghost of Yotei, too. Ghost of Yotei, from my understanding, is just as good, if not better, than the Ghost of Tsushima. From everybody that I've talked to who's played it, and everybody's just on it because it's a female lead.
Yeah.
Who gives a
A lot of that happened too with Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think it was. I think that might have released this year, and people were upset because it wasn't historically accurate. Whereas
it's an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, when has an Assassin's Creed game ever been historically accurate?
Like I'm fighting the Pope with powers. Assassin's Creed 1.
I'm gonna try to assassinate the Pope, and I'm gonna deal with Jack the Ripper later on. So
oh yeah, Jack the Ripper. I never even played that DLC, and Syndicate's one of my favorite Assassin's Creeds. That's a hot take. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is one of the best Assassin's Creed there is.
Have you played Black Flag?
I have. That's my least favorite one.
Really?
Yes, I do not like Black Flag because when I was attempting to play it, it was a really cool story. Edward Conway, really cool story, but just like the ship mechanics and all that stuff, it was it was super hard for me. I don't know why. I might revisit it now that I have more gaming expertise under my belt, but like at the time I played it close to release, so I don't know what even I don't know if I would understand it better or what, but it's either Syndicate or Unity are tied for my favorites. And then there's obviously, like, I don't know, 1, 2, and 3 are good. There's also Revelations, Brotherhood, if you want to count the Chronicle games, where it's, Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Russia, China, India, we can. Overall, I think that Black Flag is a little bit better than Origins, but I put them on the same level, I'm going to be honest, of just, like, hard to play, because in order to continue the story in Black Flag, you need to do ship missions.
Yeah.
You need to upgrade your ship, and it was just way too hard for me. I stopped playing. I didn't know what was going on. So sorry if we lost some fans from the Black Flag slander, but I don't know.
That's just part of the podcast,
That is true. Sam is not going to be my friend anymore because I said the Black Flag was terrible.
No, but there's going to be, some hot takes on this. We're looking to introduce some more segments later on, so we'll see how things turn out, but definitely one of the things will be hot takes and controversial
I also wanted to try some of these games. I've been seeing some games on TikTok and stuff where there's like the Nerd Tower and stuff like that, where I choose like a concept, and then you choose a concept, and then I have to guess, characters that fall under that concept.
Okay.
And then I have to try and guess the concept. So, for example, if I chose, like, characters with parents, right? You could choose characters with heat vision. And so, if I guessed, like, Spider-Man, you'd say, no, he's not in the tower. And then if you guessed, like, Batman, I'd go, yeah, he's in the tower. And then you would just funnel in all these characters that might fall under that umbrella, you know?
Okay. And then try to guess the umbrella, like the concept?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. That, and there's also, like, you know, blind rankings and stuff like that. And
right.
There's just a lot of stuff that I want to introduce to the podcast. It's just going to take a little bit of time to, like, figure out which ones would be good, and obviously have some on backup just in case they don't do as well and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we're still working on the structure of everything. So far, we just kind of got, you know, our intro, the news, and then somewhere in the middle we get to the topic.
Yeah, so, but that's any podcast, really. You have to have, you know, your introduction, your news segment, of which could spark up conversation, like it has here, and then we get into the meat potatoes. Sometimes there might be dessert. Because I was going to say, we are going to probably do a live reaction of both of us to watching the Doomsday trailer when that drops. Yeah. Because I want to know, I want to experience it with you and put it out to the masses. Because holy, I'm so excited. Same thing with a Brand New Day trailer. Oh, which we're probably going to get around the same time, I would presume. Is this just going to be like a teaser trailer?
Let me see.
I feel like it'd be silly to just drop a trailer when Doomsday is supposed to be like coming out next December.
Let's see. Trailer for Doomsday is set to release on December 19th, alongside Avatar: Fire and Ash.
The movie comes out then?
I think so, yeah. So I'm gonna put it in my calendar.
That. Do you remember when I brought up this movie with Emma Stone where she's like bald?
Yeah.
I found out what it's called.
Begonia?
Yeah, Begonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently Stavros Halkias is in that movie as well. I don't know if you know who that is.
Not off the top of my head.
He's a Greek comedian. He's pretty funny. But yeah, no, Begonia is what I was talking about. And I still don't know what's going on in that movie.
It has to do with like, oh yeah, I know this guy. He's a good comedian too.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know what is the movie about. I gotta know what this movie's about.
It looks like it might be about aliens, maybe, from the looks of it.
Yeah, because she's an alien, right?
Two conspiracy-obsessed men kidnap the CEO of a major company when they become convinced that she's an alien who wants to destroy Earth. Apparently it's already out. It released on Halloween, so...
I might have to go watch that.
Looks like it has some pretty decent ratings, so... Yeah,
I might have to watch that. Alright, now...
Alright, this week we are talking about The Flash. Quick preface. I did want to discuss this. This is the cliffhanger topic we left in episode 1 that I left a lot of people wondering about. And by wondering a lot of people, I mean like probably like 3 or 2. But
I was definitely wondering because I didn't know what you were talking about. So
yeah, we talked a little bit about this before we hit record. A lot of my experiences that I'm going to be talking about in this podcast will maybe be secondhand. There are some, movies or like topics or facts that I actually know about, but that I've seen. But, some of like my comic fun facts might be something I've found on Instagram, or clips of a TV show are going to be something I've seen on TikTok, or something where I'm like, hey, I found this little snippet, I want to look this up on the internet, kind of deep dive into it a little bit. Not all of my experiences are going to be first hand, and I mainly wanted to bring that up because of the 2023 Flash movie.
Yes.
I did not watch this movie.
Me neither.
I instead watched a less than 5-minute YouTube video. Shout out to the YouTube channel Movies in Minutes. He recaps movies literally in a matter of minutes. And I might have watched The Flash had it not been 2 hours and 24 minutes. That is almost the same length as Avengers Infinity War. For a movie that long, and it being that not great, I'm not watching the movie. Not unless someone forces me down as like, hey, you're gonna watch this movie. I'm not sitting down to watch that movie.
But Sam, we sat down and watched the Justice League. How long was the theatrical release of the Justice League?
How long was that movie? That was like...
It up right now.
Oh, are you? Okay. It was 2 hours. 2 hours is alright to sit through a movie, but...
Dude, the Snyder Cut is 4 hours long?
Yeah.
What the
Like...
I did not know that.
I also want to say this. This might be a controversial topic as well, but I think the ideal movie length is between an hour and a half to 2 hours. Like,
that extra 24 minutes really with you that much?
Yeah. Like, maybe if it's... See, it has to be good, though, if it's gonna run over 2 hours. If it's like 2 hours, 10 minutes, okay. But 2 hours, 24 minutes? That's 2.5 hours I could be doing something else with my life.
That's fair.
Like...
Just playing Balatro instead.
Yeah. Yeah, and anyways, back to the Flash movie. I think some of the redeemable qualities of this movie are the acting in it. The acting cast choices. Aside from Ezra Miller, we have...
Nicolas Cage.
For a brief moment, even though it almost wasn't Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, the CGI was terrible in that.
CGI in that movie was absolutely, like, dog dude. We got Michael Keaton back as Batman. We got Ben Affleck back as Batman. We got George Clooney back as Batman. We do have Michael Shannon. He's a great actor. Ron Livingston. He's pretty good. Jeremy Irons. He was in the movie. He plays Alfred. He's a great actor. A lot of other random cameos from people they probably didn't ask permission from, or they probably just didn't even ask to be in the movie. They just kind of threw it in.
What do you mean by that? I haven't watched it, so...
I don't recommend it. Christopher Reeve did make a brief cameo in it. I think it was after his passing. So it was, probably one of those things where they were like, hey, can we use Christopher Reeve's image in this DC movie? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then they CGI'd him in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I see.
Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash on the CW, he didn't even get to be in the movie, even though Ezra Miller cameoed in the Flash TV show for a minute. Yeah, this was...
It's terrible.
This movie is just... I see what they were going for with the plot. They were trying to do a Flashpoint movie. The Justice League Flashpoint Paradox is a great animated Flash movie. That one's half as long as the 2023 Flash movie, and twice as great. Definitely recommend watching that if you're gonna watch a Flash movie instead. But man, this movie was just...
It does not sound good.
They tried to reboot the entire DCU, or the DCEU, and then they tried to, and then James Gunn is working on the DCU. Hopefully he does better than the Flash movie, although he did say it was the greatest superhero movie, but that was
Bro literally made the greatest superhero movie. What are you talking about? He made Superman. Mm-hmm. Honestly, Infinity War is one of the best superhero team up movies.
Yeah.
Iron Man. Yeah, Iron Man is a great origin story. Mm-hmm. Superman, I think, is probably my favorite standalone superhero film.
Oh yeah.
Of all time.
Oh yeah. And we're not bashing on the Russos. The Russos make great movies.
Yes.
I did watch The Electric State. That's a Russo movie that they made for Netflix. That was pretty good as well. So they definitely know how to make movies. But James Gunn completely reinvented the DCU, so props to him. Yeah.
James Gunn, come on the podcast. Please. Cut. We're talking about The Flash again.
Oh yeah, his stupid sprint. What is that?
It's like he's swatting away wasps.
It looks like he's
super
swimming.
Slow. Yeah. So, we could keep bashing on this, but I did have some questions because you are one of the biggest Flash fans I know.
Shout out to The Flash. I made this when I was younger, back in 2015. As you can tell, the mask no longer fits me, but the sweatshirt does, and this is actual metal. It's sewn onto the sweatshirt. So
yeah. So cosplaying tips. Hit up Sam's DMs.
I am working on getting back into it. A lot of my cosplay stuff is in a box down here under all this other stuff, including this Morbius
Yes! It's back! It's back! You know, one of these times when we hit like a really big milestone, I want to say like 500 followers or something, or like 1,000 followers, you open it up and we do a watch night.
Yeah.
We gotta do it. Like, it's gotta be a thing. Because holy that movie is so bad. Talk about bad movies. Flashpoint or whatever. It's just called Flash.
2023 Flash movie is called The Flash. The animated...
It's not called Flashpoint?
No. The animated Justice League movie, the Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. That is a great movie. Similar plot where Barry Allen goes back in time to stop the murder of his mother, and in the process, unfortunately, creates an alternate timeline, which differs from the Flash movie, where Bruce is instead of his parents, and Martha Wayne becomes the Joker, Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, Superman is locked away in a prison and is never revealed to the world at all. So the Flash needs to team up with Cyborg, Thomas Wayne to work on stopping the Reverse Flash, who is played by
somebody. He's played by somebody.
Sorry, oh my god, this movie has so many great actors. He is played by C. Thomas Howell, which he also appears in Criminal Minds. He is an incredible actor. In this movie, we get Kevin Conroy as Batman, Nathan Fillion as Hal Jordan, Michael B. Jordan as Cyborg, Carrie Ewells as Aquaman, Ron Perlman as Deathstroke, Justin Chambers as Barry Allen, Steve Blum as Lex Luthor, Kevin McKidd as Thomas Wayne, let's see, Danny Huston is in the movie. Yeah, this movie just has a absolutely stacked cast. It is a really great movie overall. I highly recommend worth watching it, even if you don't like animated movies. It is a amazing movie. I watched this when I was younger, and I think this really got me into The Flash.
I'm curious, who is C. Thomas Howell in Criminal Minds? Because you said Criminal Minds, and I just went through a deep dive as you were talking. I don't know who he is in this show.
I don't know if you've seen... Do you know the main character, Aaron Hotchner?
Yeah.
Yeah. C. Thomas Howell plays this He's this really dark, demented guy. He ended up stabbing himself 47 times just so he wouldn't get caught by the FBI. But he ends up going after Aaron Hotchner and ends up, spoiler alert, his wife while on the phone with Aaron Hotchner.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty...
Which season was that?
I don't know.
See, now we're getting away from it again. Holy
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You just mentioned a show that I was like hooked on for like a few months.
He was also in E.T. Yeah.
I know Aubrey Plaza was in Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
God, the woman you are. Holy shit.
C. Thomas Howell was also in The Amazing Spider-Man. So yeah, incredible actor.
Okay. Well, now that I'm done with filling our heads full of Criminal Minds stuff. Yeah, so Flashpoint sounds like a really good movie. I'll have to watch that. I know you told me that I should watch it. I just didn't find time, and I also forgot a little bit.
Yeah,
I forgot a little bit.
I probably would have watched the Flash movie had it not been so long and so not great either. So,
So is that why you wanted to bring up the fact? Because, like, you said that you might watch the Flash movie because of us falling onto it on the wheel.
Yeah.
And that sparked you to go to, you said, Movies in Minutes?
Yeah. It sparked me to go to YouTube to watch a summary of the movie because I didn't want to spend 2 hours and 24 minutes of my life watching this
movie that you already knew was going to be bad.
Yeah. And had I not known it was going to be, like, average, I would have been like, yeah, I might watch it. If it was a great movie, I probably would have put my time towards it. But, you know, it just wasn't. And it's so long, and I just don't have the commitment to sit through a 2.5 hour movie that's not great.
Yeah, that's fully understandable. I would, it, given if I was in like a DC rewatching marathon like I am Marvel, I would force myself to probably watch it. But, like, I'm gonna have to watch Morbius. I watched the 2003 Hulk. I have watched, a lot of bad
Yeah,
to
but
get up to
I
this
mean,
point.
the thing about long movies is they have to be great to like
Yeah,
make it feel like you're not sitting there for so long. Otherwise, you just either want to leave or turn the movie off and do something else.
that's why I'm like a big fan of The Lord of the Rings. I know that we touched base on your hatred of fantasy, or your not hatred but disliking of
Yeah.
fantasy.
Distaste,
But
really.
yeah, your distaste, of which I will change. I can fix you, I promise. But like the movies by themselves, it was originally supposed to be one big movie, but no one wanted to fund a movie that large with so many plot points and stuff like that they had to break it up into three.
Yeah.
Of which they weren't originally even gonna do. They were like, you either make the one movie or you get the out. Like it was a whole thing. But sure enough, Peter Jackson got it made, got them all made, and they were all filmed at the same time. So it was like everything was congruent. Everyone looked the same in the next movie, and it wasn't. Yeah, they were like released at separate times, kind of like, the Avatar movies, where all these movies were filmed, X amount of years ago, but like they're so CGI'd up that you need years and years and years to be able to finish. And like The Way of Water looked so good. The Way of Water was a masterpiece in my eyes. Like aside from the fact that the first one was like an economic like just powerhouse. For it was a blockbuster. It destroyed the box office when the first Avatar came out, only to be set aside by Endgame, the end of a amazing saga of and now we got 2.5 hours worth of ass, with Flash.
Yeah. So.
Like I said, it would be the only thing that I'll ever disagree with James Gunn on, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he said that. Maybe he wasn't planning on running the DCU. Maybe he was just like, maybe he watched it and was like, oh yeah, it was a decent movie,
I won't know. But if he comes on the podcast,
yeah, if he
I
comes
can get
on,
a little bit more insight.
We can get his thoughts.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you some questions based on legitimizing your fanness of the Flash.
Okay.
And making it a reality, because you asked me so many questions on Bellatra last week. So I wanted to bring it up. There are, much like many superheroes and throughout different universes, there are many who take up the mantle of different superheroes' names. Of note, there are 4 key people who have portrayed the Flash in comics. Okay, we're talking strictly comics here.
Okay.
But I don't know how much you've read, but there are 4 main Flashes that come to mind when people are asked this, and that is Jay Garrick, the original, Barry Allen, Wally West, and Bart Allen.
Yep.
Yes. So who, in your eyes, is your favorite, and can you tell me why?
I'm gonna either go with Barry Allen or Wally West. Jay Garrick is just, classic age Flash. I think one of my favorite quotes by him, Jay Garrick, is, let me go on my phone. I have it saved in my quotes folder.
Are those for your posts on your Instagram that you have underneath you just mogging the camera?
It was, get yourself together and watch the language. You're a superhero. And that quote right there just embodies Jay Garrick. Like, he knows that he is a superhero, and he is a symbol for, like, the good of Central City. And, not to, like, bash any of the other heroes, but another quote I have saved right next to it is a Barry Allen quote. Although sometimes you risk letting people down, that must not keep you from moving forward. If you're not moving, you're not living. No matter how bad it gets or how many hits you take, keep trying. And
Yeah.
that's a great one right there. I have the monologue from the Flashpoint Paradox at the end saved as well. Of course, Barry Allen has a tragic backstory. His mother was, when he was younger, his father was framed and sent to prison for it, and that actually inspired Barry Allen to work for the Central City Police Department, becoming a CSI, ensuring that he actually gets struck by lightning in the lab, ensuring he becomes the Flash, ensuring he becomes a hero for Central City, which inspires a future youngling named Eobard Thawne to want to become the Flash, literally, and going through the same disaster as Barry Allen when he unfortunately becomes the Flash. He does not become as popular as the Flash. Everyone still loves Barry Allen as the Flash, which in turn makes Eobard Thawne become, I believe in the comics, Professor Zoom. In many other iterations, also the comics, he becomes the Reverse Flash, which inspires him to travel back in time, Barry Allen's mother, in result, ensuring that he becomes the Flash and that Eobard Thawne becomes the Reverse Flash as the greatest rival.
I thought that when I was looking up information on this, I thought Reverse Flash was a different person.
Then Professor Zoom.
Like, yeah, Zoom and Professor Flash, or God, you're messing me up. You're messing me up, man. So Zoom and Reverse Flash are different people. I remember. Let me look it up again because I had the name.
They might be.
Reverse Flash name.
The thing is, they have such similar costumes in the comics that people a lot of times get them confused as each other. Even I might be getting them confused as each other. I know in the CW TV show, the character Zoom was technically a different person.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the Arrowverse it looks like, and even in one of these comics from what I'm seeing on here, Zoom is Hunter Zolomon.
Yeah, Hunter Zolomon is also a speedster. There are a lot of speedsters that don't like the Flash.
I wonder why.
But yeah, Hunter Zolomon is typically Zoom, Professor Zoom, who I think came before the Reverse Flash. I don't really know the difference in origin story per se, but I do know Eobard Thawne is a future guy who looks up to the Flash so much that he wants to become the Flash, gets the Flash's powers, but people don't like him as much. I think he might also get, I don't know if it's rejected by Barry Allen as well, but he just doesn't live up to being the Flash, and then eventually becomes the Reverse Flash. Puts all of his hatred towards the Flash.
I'm seeing what you were talking about here. It seems that C. Thomas Howell played Eobard in your Flashpoint thing.
Which, speaking of, I want to read this quote. Barry Allen is lying on the ground, ass beaten. He says to the Reverse Flash, "I just wanted to save her." And Reverse Flash goes on this monologue saying, "Her hero, how noble. Wait, you didn't stop JFK from getting assassinated, or make sure Hitler stayed in art school. You saved your mommy. You missed her, and in a supreme act of selfishness, shattered history like a rank amateur, turned the world into a living hell, moments away from destruction, and I'm the villain?" Which, that's like a powerful monologue right there. Sorry I messed it up so badly.
No, you're good.
Man, I have a lot of Flash-inspired quotes right here.
I mean, it makes sense. He's your favorite character.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, that was a little rant I went on about Barry Allen. Wally West is also a good Flash. He starts out as Kid Flash, of course. Definitely more of a teenage fun like Flash, and then takes up the mantle as the Flash. Really great guy. Bart Allen, I don't know too much about. I do know his costume looks pretty cool, but besides that,
I mean, he's the grandson of Barry.
Yeah.
And apparently he comes from he came from the future or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I was seeing like bare minimum for him, so it must be newer.
yeah, typically when you think of the Flash, it comes in 3 different ages. Let me see if I'm getting this correct. Ages of Flash. Nope, that's actual ages. Yeah, so Golden Age Flash is Jay Garrick, because he's the first. I believe Silver Age Flash features Barry Allen. I think after that it goes, like Bronze, maybe? Bronze Age Flash? Maybe not, but there are, like different ages. So Jay Garrick usually is, talked about when it's like, I want to say like mid-th century to like the turn of the century. And then Barry Allen is typically, like turn of the century to, I don't know, I think the actual time period is like 2050 or something, 2052, and then Kid Flash takes up the mantle as the Flash, and that's Wally West. He's like kind of like not necessarily the future Flash, but he is like the next step in the Flash family. And then of course you got Bart Allen. He's more of the future Flash. I think his time period is usually like 3000 and above. So it usually depends on what, not necessarily age, like historical age you are referring to when you mention the Flash and who is currently has the mantle.
Okay, so you chose Barry Allen as your favorite then?
Yeah, I'm gonna choose Barry Allen.
Yeah, because I mean, like a lot of people say that Wally West is like the most powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Barry Allen is pretty powerful, but Wally West is like unmatched.
Yeah, he typically does have good good like control of his powers. I think that's mainly because he has Barry as his mentor. Jay Garrick was a good Flash, but he was kind of like the Justice Society of America, where it was like just starting out, so they didn't really have too powerful metahumans. As like a mentor, his idea of being like a superhero was, being a symbol of good, whereas, for Wally West, Barry Allen was like, hey, these are some of the tips and tricks you can use. And then Wally West probably also learned secrets of the Speed Force himself as well. So, and I think Wally West might technically be faster.
I was gonna say that's what I was hearing. It's just more.
Yes, Wally West has become faster than Barry Allen.
It's interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know that. I obviously. I'm more of a Marvel guy than DC, so I like when it comes to speedsters, I got very limited choices. Upon looking up some stuff, though, I found out that there was way more choices than I had thought. But that kind of loops me into another thing. What do you think is like the best rendition of Flash in media? Do you think it's the Flashpoint movie you're talking about, or do you think the character of Flash is best portrayed in what? Would it be the comics, or do you think that is there a specific comic run that you can think of, or is it like a show?
Honestly, it could be either Flashpoint Paradox. The only thing is he doesn't, if I can remember correctly, he doesn't use a large variety of his powers in Flashpoint Paradox. He does, like, run, and he can, reverse time and change timelines and all that, but, I think a great example of Flash in media might be Young Justice. Wally West as the Flash in that. He has some great abilities that he, uses. He really portrays Wally West as like, this kind of fun young guy, learns a little bit from Barry Allen. Eventually Barry Allen becomes a little bit more mature in his later years, but, Wally West, Young Justice is a great, I don't want to say cartoon, but a great animated show that, has a great iteration of the Flash. So I'm gonna have to go.
It encapsulates it better than other things.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the older, like the old Flash TV show, that was pretty decent. The new Flash TV show started great. Somehow they ended up with lightning lightsabers in the end, and even the actor was like, "Guys, what are we doing?" Like Grant Gustin was like,
Is
"What are we?"
this the CW show?
Yeah, yeah. At the end, you can look up CW Flash lightsaber fight. I'll put an image on for everyone, but they're literally battling out.
What the?
Yeah.
Now who's this guy? This white guy. This guy in white.
That is Godspeed. The Flash has a lot of speedster villains, like I mentioned. Zoom, Reverse Flash, Savitar is, I think in the comics, technically the god of speed, maybe? I kind of stopped watching the CW show after season 4, but, you know, some portrayals of the Flash are just like weird. I think Grant Gustin did a great job of portraying the Flash. Ezra Miller did alright. I think he would have been better in Justice League had it not been for Joss Whedon, but you know, I didn't really like I didn't like his suit in The Flash.
It seems a bit bulky.
Yeah, I don't know. The best Flash suit is the CW like end suit, where he has like the gold boots and everything. But it's hard to get the Flash suit right because in the comics it's just one. No, it's hard to get my comic accurate suits right.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it just seems so bulky, and then when I see this one where it's like Godspeed with, it looks like Reverse Flash, and then some dude in a giant black suit, and then some guy who looks like a Power Ranger without a helmet on the far right. I think that might be Zoom. I don't know though.
I don't know for certain. I don't really know what happens at the end. I think eventually the Speed Force turns evil and goes against Barry. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the Speed Force turns against him. CW.
So is the Speed Force the power source that he pulls from to utilize his speed?
Yes. Barry Allen has to face a Cobalt Blue. Oh, I guess it's the negative Speed Force is the last plotline of the Flash.
But this is the guy that I was seeing, Cobalt Blue. Like, look at the picture from the live action of this. He looks like a Power Ranger without the helmet. I don't even know what this guy's about.
So technically in the CW, that's the guy who is the grandfather of the Reverse Flash.
Okay.
And in the CW show, he himself to save the Flash, because if the grandfather, then there's no Reverse Flash.
And then Red Death. What the is Red Death? That's when Batman gets the Speed Force?
Yes, that is the comic line where Batman gets the Speed Force.
I know I have a Red Death Funko Pop.
Yeah, he's like a villain. Yeah, sometimes things are a little confusing, but...
Yeah, and okay, so that actually, it can help me kind of bridge into something that I just now wanted to ask, because I'm curious. So, the Speed Force is its own thing, but Barry got access to the Speed Force because he got struck by lightning?
Yes, technically there was like a certain chemical reaction that also happened at the same time. It depends on what like version of media you're like reading or watching, but the Speed Force is essentially what grants speedsters access to their powers. It's basically this like, it's kind of like the Force for Jedis. Not everyone has access to it, but once you do get access to it, it's like, it's what gets you your powers. And, you know, people with a stronger connection to the Speed Force are obviously, you know, faster and more powerful. But, yeah, there's a lot of different mysterious things about the Speed Force that are either explained or not explained in different versions of media.
Okay. Now, since we talked about Cobalt Blue, what the are some of these villains? Like, genuinely, Captain Cold?
Oh, the Flash Rogues Gallery? Top notch right there.
It seems odd, like if it's not just a reprint of Flash being a problem.
Yeah.
It's random.
It's Captain
I don't know what
Cold.
a Captain Cold is.
He has a like a freeze ray. There is
I saw Mirror Man.
Yep, Mirror Man, Trickster. He's like a fun fact in the CW show. Trickster is played by Mark Hamill, who also voices Joker in most of the animated DC products and also the Arkham games.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's the Turtle. That's a Flash rogue. He slows things down around him. So
Okay.
Captain Boomerang.
I know that one. I
Yup,
know that one.
Yep.
I saw something about heat wave. Is that a thing?
Yep. Basically the opposite of Captain Cold. He's an arsonist with a flamethrower.
He has a heat gun.
There's a weather wizard. Basically has a wand with the power to manipulate weather. Let's see. There's one that David Dalmatian, I think, plays.
Polka Dot Man?
Yeah. In the CW show, he plays Abrac. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there are some interesting rogues in the Flash as well.
I mainly brought it up because it's like they all seem silly, like the names.
Yeah.
It's like when it comes to Marvel versus DC, and I'm not trying to like yuck anybody's yums here.
No, I totally get it.
I'm sure that Captain Cold is like super awesome and cool, no pun intended. But like when it comes to other like superheroes, even in DC, like, you know, Batman has the Joker, Bane, Poison Ivy, Croc, all these things. Superman has, you know, Zod. He's got Lex Luthor. Like, it just seems like he has such an odd rogues gallery.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it's like it's almost as if they ran out of ideas. Is what I'm getting at. Like the Turtle.
There's a villain.
He just makes some stuff slow.
There's a villain called Rainbow Rider who has special light goggles. You know what his name is?
Is it Roy G. Biv?
Yeah, Roy G. Bivolo is Rainbow Rider's alias.
Yes.
So
it's like.
Oh,
like
there's Pied Piper too.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like an ass. I'm just saying like some of these names are odd.
Yeah.
You know, but it's better than some of some of the Marvel ones, because Marvel ones, they don't even have cool names. It's just some guy. You know what I mean? Like if you want to talk about like any Marvel character, smaller, like B tier hero, not saying that the Flash is a B tier hero, but like when it comes to Marvel, instead of like giving them, oh, this is the White Death, you know, or something like cool sounding, it's just, oh yeah, I'm in a feud with Phil, you know.
Well, I mean, some of the like Marvel villains do have actual like villain names. They're just not dropped in like the Marvel projects.
That's fair.
Such as, I don't know, is Cottonmouth dropped?
Yeah, Cottonmouth is dropped.
Yeah, there's Cottonmouth
in Luke Cage.
There's Purple Man. I'm not talking about
Purple Man?
Yeah, Purple Man.
Or
Yeah, different Purple Man. He's in Jessica Jones. He actually has the power to make people do things.
Oh, you're talking about Kilgrave.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kilgrave. Yeah, I know Kilgrave. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't drop the name.
Yeah.
They don't drop the name, they just say his legal name. Oh, that's Kilgrave. Yeah, that's Kilgrave. Da, 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 da. I didn't know his name was Purple Man.
Yeah, the Purple Man is a supervillain appearing in American comics books. Yeah, people call him Kilgrave because it sounds cooler than the Purple Man.
But the thing is, I thought that was his name in the show.
It is. His alias is Zebediah Kilgrave. So, you know, yeah, you're not going to walk around going, I'm fighting old Zebediah over there.
Yeah, I'm fighting Purple Man.
Yeah, I gotta go against Kilgrave.
Yeah, Kilgrave is pretty awesome.
You know.
Also, David Tennant in Jessica Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Kilgrave. So good, dude. Anyways, so, yeah, I just wanted to bring up the Flash villains, silly names. Kind of like I found out about this DC character, Animal Man. Didn't know anything about Animal Man. Sounded super stupid. He didn't really have like a really cool like costume either. And then like I read his powers and I'm like, yo, like that's awesome. That's really cool.
Another
but
classic Flash rogue is Gorilla Grodd. Literally,
but that's the thing. Gorilla Grodd is just a smart gorilla, right?
Yeah.
Telepathic smart gorilla. That's still cool, but like Grodd, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
Gorilla Grodd. He's just a really smart telepathic gorilla. The Rainbow Rider. Like, what is this? What is this? Or like Kite Man. Kite Man is another funny one, but Kite Man is like freaky. Like, he actually gets down and dirty. Like, it's ridiculous. So, in order to keep this ball rolling, though, I'm going to kind of get off of that. I want to ask you, what do you think is, like, one of the most notable storylines for The Flash? Would it be the Flashpoint stuff, like multiversal, or do you think it's more important, like, to, like, arc-wise, I guess? Because obviously with different runs, it covers different things. And then, like, obviously there's the storyline of how he got the Flash powers, you know, and there's the storyline of, like, teaching Wally West. But what do you think is, like, the most important out of them?
Most iconic Flash storyline. Or did you say most iconic, or like?
What do you think is the most important? It could be iconic. Do you think that, like, it's more important, like, to set up the future, or do you think the fact that, like, how Barry Allen came as the Flash was the most important?
I think it's gonna be a tie between. Let me make sure this is how his run as the Flash ended.
It never ended, Sam. That's the trick. They don't tell you.
No, I want the.
So anyway, Sam is having issues while he's doing that.
I keep getting the.
The what?
No, it is. It is. Okay, it is in the comics too. I kept getting the CW version. So I think the most important, like, character arc for the Flash is definitely a tie between Flashpoint, where, you know, he learns to move on from his mother's death and accept that as, like, a defining character trait, as, you know, who he is and who he is as a hero. But also, it's a tie between the end of Barry Allen's run in Crisis on Infinite Earths. For just a little bit of backstory, the Crisis on Infinite Earths line talks about how the multiverse is literally dying because this one dude is just... It's gonna be like, you know, Doomsday, where this one big bad guy is kind of like destroying all the multiverses, and in order to save the multiverse, the Flash has to, you know, sacrifice himself to save the multiverse, hence the ending of Barry Allen's run, I believe. Now, in the CW show, it's a little bit different. Somehow he survives, but, you know, CW...
Well, they got to keep that continuity so they can keep making money.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd have to say definitely a tie between Flashpoint and Crisis on Infinite Earths. Both definitely defining character arcs for Barry Allen as, you know, a character, you know, both his, like, alter ego character as well as the Flash character. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to choose those two.
Okay. So now that we've talked about the Flash for a good hour now, roughly.
Yeah.
Let's move into a couple more questions I have for you based on the Flash, and then we can close this out. Sound good? So, obviously, when we talk about the Flash, we know that among other IPs and production studios, there are speedsters as well. So, do you think that the Flash is the best speedster among his counterparts in other, like, projects and companies? So, obviously, we're talking,
You know,
X-Men,
Yep.
Quicksilver, or Eternals Makari,
yeah.
or The Boys A-Train, or we could even extend it to some other IPs of, like, Invincible, who had the Red Rush, and I believe someone after that, because we all know what happens in Invincible Episode 1. But, yeah, and I'm sure there's plenty more in different, like, comic runs of different things that are not as prolific as, like, the ones that I've mentioned already. But, like, up for all of those that you can think of, who do you think is the best speedster? We could go by speed, we could go by whatever, like...
Is he the best speedster? Don't really necessarily think so. Is he the most iconic? I think so. You know, if someone's going to talk about super speed, people are going to be like, oh, you know, the Flash, or maybe Superman. I think Quicksilver is definitely, like, second or third. He's an iconic character. Both Evan Peters and
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, thank you. Aaron Taylor Johnson do great versions of Quicksilver in both the X-Men movies and the MCU.
Yeah.
I've heard that the one you mentioned in the Eternals, is it Makari?
Makari.
she has like the best representation of a speedster. You know,
Yeah, I have yet to see it, but I'm
it's
excited
decent.
to watch Eternals.
You know,
You know.
it's decent. She does give a good performance in it. A lot of the acting in the movie is pretty good. That is one of the solid points of the movie. But
So,
yeah,
in terms of, like, have you seen A-Train in The Boys?
I've seen him in clips. He's a great character. What is it? Every time I think of either the first scene where he runs through Huey's girlfriend, or I think of the scene with him and Homelander where he's like drinking a milkshake and Homelander's like poking his gut. Like, better lay off those milkshakes, buddy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Red Rush was short-lived, but
Yeah. So, yeah, then in estimations to those ones, you think Barry is better than those, roughly?
I think he's the most iconic. I think certain versions of the Flash might be the fastest. I think if it's like icons between speedsters, it's probably between the Flash or Quicksilver. I'm gonna look up speedsters real quick.
Well, while you do that, I do want to say
yes,
that, like,
if you look up speedster, the first one that pops up is the Flash.
yeah. So, like, iconicity for sure, Flash takes the cake for all speedsters, but I think that we're forgetting someone. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, he's also
Sonic
iconic.
the Hedgehog mops the floor.
Oh yeah.
With everybody. Someone who mops the floor with Sonic the Hedgehog. You're not ready for this one, Sam. Speedy Gonzales from the Looney Tunes is the fastest in all of history, in all of media. He uses the Toon Force, which is hardly beatable. And if you want to really even consider it, maybe even the Roadrunner may be up there as well. So I want to ask you, Sam, knowing this knowledge now, if there was a big brawl, a big fight, how do you think it would play out? Who do you think would first? Who do you think would come out on top, including Speedy Gonzales and Sonic the Hedgehog with the known speedsters that we have? So we have Barry Allen. You could even choose Wally West to give a little bit of an advantage if you wanted. But, Wally West, the best version of all of these characters, we have Wally West as the Flash. We have, Quicksilver. Let's say Evan Peters Quicksilver, because understandably I don't think Evan Peters Quicksilver could have gotten shot by the Ultron bots.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Taylor Johnson's. And then Makari from Eternals, and then A-Train, and then the Red Rush. Who do you think comes out on top? If you want, we can take out Speedy Gonzales and, Sonic.
Without a doubt, Sonic.
Even with Speedy Gonzales?
Sonic with the Chaos Emeralds?
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Mops.
Yeah. Sonic with the Chaos Emeralds, and then I think Barry Allen or Wally West would be his second, because they have more powers than, like, technically just super speed. But if it were like a race, I'm going with Speedy Gonzales.
Yeah, for sure. That's fair. I know that it has been no, like, allude to the speed at which Sonic can cap out at, but they have stated that the minimum, he at least runs 767 miles per hour. So, which is breaking the sound barrier. It's slightly faster than the speed of sound, if not on par, I believe. Because it's past Mach 5. But in the movie, he's went over 1,000 miles per hour. And in other connotations, it's been alluded to the fact that he might be able to run upwards of 9 billion miles per hour.
Yeah,
which is 9 times over the speed of light. So
yeah, that's why I was like, Sonic with the Chaos Emeralds, like, completely.
yeah,
it's
raps. But let's take out the ridiculousness of, like, the Toon Force and, Sonic the Hedgehog being just a hedgehog with super speed. In a fight to the death between all of the, I don't even want to say live action, because that would mark out Red Rush and like certain iterations of other characters. If we just threw in the best version live action of each, so Wally West, Evan Peters Quicksilver, Makari, A-Train, and then Red Rush, who do you think comes out on top? Is it Wally West?
Man, if we're including, like, comics, then yes. If we're getting rid of like all the, if we're just doing like live action
connotation.
Yeah, if we're
Like,
just
so CW.
yeah, if we just do if we do live action, I think, I don't know, maybe I want to say maybe Evan Peters Quicksilver. As much as I like The Flash, a lot of the CW show was like, hey, here's a metahuman. I'm gonna try to fight him. Oh no, I didn't beat him. Let me go to my team and see what I can come up with to figure out how to beat him. Which is like, it's fine and all if it was like a greater threat. But like, imagine Batman going up against like Clayface, and he's like, oh no, I can't beat Clayface. Time to recruit the rest of my Bat family to fight Clayface.
Yeah, no. Batman's the greatest detective. With prep time, you can defeat anybody, even Sonic the Hedgehog. So, yeah, I think A-Train first, honestly. So sad to say.
I mean, he could run through everyone else, but, I mean, he'd have to catch up to them.
But so could everybody else at that point, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. Isn't there, like, something called, like, the Flash Punch or something like that?
Yeah.
Or, like,
but, like, if we're including, like, live-action versions, the Flash doesn't actually learn how to use his powers himself. That's the thing. He learns how to do it from, like, a mentor or a team, and, like, he has all these great powers, and he can use them, but I don't think he would remember how to do them himself.
Okay. Well, we have our answer. Barry Allen still wins, even though he kind of sucks.
I mean, like, yeah. If
or
it was,
I would say Makari, if anything. You know,
probably.
It's like
She's a strong contender.
Yeah, I mean, she's almost like on par with gods, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we could do that. Makari or Quicksilver for like live action. I don't think Ezra Miller is beating anybody. So let's just use the guy who plays him in the CW. So, by that standard, I don't think they have a chance against Evan Peters, but I don't think Evan Peters has a chance against Makari.
Yeah.
So, to close it out, I do have one last question, and it's arguably the most important for the future. Who would you want to play the Flash in the Gunverse, the DCU, the new DCU? Do you have an idea? Is this something that you've been, you know, like thinking of? Because I'm sure James Gunn has.
I guess it would depend on, like the storyline. Are you going for like a younger Flash? Are you going for like a young adult Flash? Are you going for like a more of an adult Flash?
Let's say if you could pick out a Barry Allen and then a young Wally West.
Ooh.
Say it behind you, the door just opened.
It's the cat. There are a lot of great picks. Ooh, I think for a mature Barry Allen, I'm gonna go...
Pedro Pascal, right?
Of course!
Why didn't I think of that?
I think for a mature Barry Allen with, you know, kind of a good sense of charm, but also some seriousness, I might go with Wyatt Russell. He's the guy who plays John Walker.
Yeah, U.S. agent.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor. I like him a lot. I do like Lucas Till. He was in the X-Men First Class.
Was he Banshee?
I think so. He was the blonde guy. A lot of people...
Oh, no, this is Havoc.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas Till was Havoc.
A lot of people have fan casted him. I know Grant Gustin.
As Barry Allen?
Yeah. He seems a little older, maybe, but I think he does still have that charm.
Mm-hmm. How do we feel about names such as... I already forgot his name. God.
I mean, I'd also be open to, like, new actors as well.
What if we...
I would love to see... What's his name? The guy who plays Homelander. I would love to see him as Reverse Flash.
Okay. So, how would you feel about Jack Quaid being Flash? Huey from The Boys.
I think he would be a good Wally West.
Maybe. Mayhaps.
I think that would be
But I was thinking more young
contender.
for Wally West, so it might be harder to cast someone, because,
yeah, but,
you know, with
I don't know.
young actors...
Jack Quaid
like,
just kind of has that, like...
boyish charm.
Yeah, that young boyish charm to him that I think he could pull off. Who's the guy? Anthony Starr. I think he could be a good Reverse Flash.
Yeah. If you look up I'm gonna tell you a name. Hold on one second. I just gotta look up what his name is. I think, look up the name Robert Capron. Capron. Him now would be either a good Flash or Wally West.
Rowley?
Yeah, Rowley from that. He's so fit now.
Yeah, I think he could be. I think he has like the young charm of like a Wally West too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's get it going. Let's put it in. You know, where's my Rowley lovers at? Or even Fregley, Grayson Russell.
Yeah, he is
as Wally West.
The red hair for it too.
Yeah. The problem is Grayson Russell now, I believe, is just like, he does music, I think.
Could be. I don't know. There are like...
I'm gonna look up young ginger actors.
There are like a lot of good strong contenders for like the Flash or Kid Flash.
You know what? Let's get Seth Green as the Flash.
That would be classic. But that would have been...
See, Eddie Redmayne might be interesting as...
maybe.
Like a Wally West situation with Eddie Redmayne.
Maybe. I would need to see more, like, movies with him.
Or Cameron Monaghan. Ooh. But Cameron Monaghan was the Joker in Gotham.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm bad at casting. I don't know. I'm terrible when it comes to this stuff. Because I don't know a lot of actors and actresses. But until you show me them, I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's hard to, like, you know, like, go in your head and, like, find a certain actor as, like, who you want to be as, like, a certain character. You know, sometimes it's easy. Like with David Cornsweet as Superman.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, that's just pure easy. But sometimes it's hard. So
I'm looking up one last one. The actor for Banshee for X-Men First Class, Caleb Landry Jones. Yeah, he either could be a good Barry Allen or Wally West. Just because I loved him as Banshee. Mm-hmm. If only he was a bit younger, like he was in this movie.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people have casted like Lucas Till as like the
Barry Allen.
Yeah, as Barry Allen.
Okay. Yeah, very fun stuff. Very fun stuff. Let us move on to the wheel if you're ready.
Yeah, I think we've talked plenty.
Do you see the wheel up here?
I do.
Awesome. So for the people that weren't here last week, we got the Flash out of here, and Sam has decided to put in its stead the topic of nepotism in pop culture. So we might see that, we might not. But we will see what the wheel has in store for us for next week.
Yeah.
Let's give it a little spinny. Ooh, boy. What are we looking at? Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, man. Well, it has been decided, people. It has been decided. I get to go on a tirade next week. Holy crap. It's happening. Matt gets to talk about Game of Thrones, dude.
Might see if I can watch a couple episodes. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to binge watch the whole series in a week.
No, you won't. You won't be able to. But just look up whatever you want to. I will talk about literally everything Game of Thrones, whether it be the Telltale game that they released, of which I've played, or the show that I've watched. I'm now on season 6 out of 8, but I had to put that on hold because of everything else I'm watching. So, alright guys, now you know that next week is going to be talking about one of the most prolific, fantasy shows to have come out within our lifetime. So, you have that to look forward to, but this has been Pod-1218. My name is Matt. That's Sam. Sam, you want to give him tell him where you're from. Tell him what you got going on.
Yep. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. I am the Style Guru 52. Little fun fact: the 52 in my handle is also named after the New 52 line in DC Comics. Just a little fun fact there. But you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. I am the Style Guru 52. I have been posting a lot recently. I'm trying to promote this podcast, coming up with some good fits. I do have No Shave November going on, hence the beard getting thicker, as you can see throughout the episodes. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Matt, where can they find you?
In your mom's bedroom. Anyway, I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/. Slothy Streams. I'm currently going through Subnautica. I didn't get a chance to talk about it today, but we could talk about it next week. That game is fun. But yeah, follow me on Twitch. Sub if you want to. I appreciate it if you do. I think I have 3 or 4 total subs right now, which is pretty awesome. And I just got a bunch of new emotes for new subscribers as well. Some entail some funny emotes for you, and you get access to those if you subscribe. Other than that, I'm also on TikTok, which is Slothy Boy, which is where you can find me. I post every once in a while. I also have been using it to promote the podcast and also my own streams, but I want to get back into content creation, even if it's ass. So I will be doing that. But thank you again so much for watching, and thank you to everybody who has followed and subscribed so far. I believe we're sitting at 5 subscribers right now on the YouTube, and we are sitting at 9 followers on Spotify. So to those 9 people, thank you very much. And to those 5 people on YouTube, thank you very much. Feel free to leave a comment. Your comment of what you want us to talk about will or might end up in the wheel, because we can only think of so many ideas. We obviously need the help of other people to get this show rolling. So if you have something you want us to talk about, please feel free to leave a comment. Leave any tips or advice you think that we should do, any segments you want us to cover, and stuff like that. Other than that, this has been the 1218, Pod-1218, Earth 1218. I'm having a stroke. This has been Earth Pod 1218.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming to our universe, dog.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.